Alright, hello to the world. I am Sigma3375. Welcome to Dissidia Duellem Final Fantasy, a game with 1,000 red flags that we just choose to ignore. If you have ever eaten sushi from a gas station, or drank milk that's a week past expiration, or trusted that girl that says that she's on the pill, well then you, my friend, you have the capability of what it takes to play this game. You can close your eyes to red flags and just hope for the best. The red flags don't exist, so let's just move on as if this is just a successful 10-year game now, shall we? Okay, now first off, let me actually enable my game sound here. There you go. Okay. First things first, let's talk about the settings, right? It's very good to play this game with a controller. If you don't have a controller, then I suggest that you go to settings and use this second option over here, the UI. And then also you should enable this option. It'll help you play the game a lot more smoother. So that's definitely the best thing to do. I played on mobile first, but then I got too frustrated with losing and I just bought a camera. So now, let's see, where's my hand? I like this hand. Up here is my pull currency. This is the currency that you need in order to pull on a banner. So don't use it. There's gonna be these crystals that we're gonna have later on, but just stay away from using those to unlock the crystals. This green thing over here, that's called a growth egg. This is your EXP points for the abilities and how to level them up. They're very rare and high in demand right now as the game started out, but I know over the course of time they'll give it out like candy. So over here, down at the bottom, let's talk about banners. Come on. Okay, so when you first start the game, they're gonna give you access to these really good banners. This can be called a beginner banner, and you're gonna be able to pull UR's the UR ability in 88 pulls, and every 16 pulls you get these character tickets. So this game is all about the abilities. That's where the gacha system comes into play. We're pulling for that. But then you'll also get these red tickets, which will allow you to pull on the characters. So the characters, that's the red ticket right there. You could gamble one ticket on the banner and hope you get who you want, or you could guarantee to spend, guarantee your pull by spending 5 of them. You know, and if you don't know who to pull and you wonder what you should go for, which character, well, I recommend Cloud, because Cloud is Square Enix's favorite child, and he's obviously going to be the best and most favorite. So if you want to reroll, then and you don't know who to reroll for, and you don't want to follow tier list, just go for Cloud. He's going to be the favorite. He's the favorite child of Square Enix. So yeah, the first time you pull on these banners, you'll be able to re-roll them an infinite amount until you get what you want. I suggest going for 2 URs of the character you want to play, and after that you're going to be able to re-roll on the character draw banner here as well. And yeah, so after that 1 week of making the account brand new is over, you're gonna be welcome to these banners over here. Over here you have the ability to spend money and whale so that people on Reddit could hate you. You can buy currency paid, the paid version of the pull currency that you need for this game. On these character banners over here, you know, I had bad luck. They show you that it's guaranteed. It's a boosted chance, but it's not really guaranteed. So anyway, let me talk about the abilities. When you go on the banner you're pulling, this is what you're actually pulling for. There are 4 grades of abilities, right? You have the N rarity right over here. That's normal. Oops. That's normal rarity. Then you have the R grade, which is a step above. Then you have the SR, which is super rare, and then you have the UR, which is the purple one. Now everybody wants the UR. Obviously that's going to be the best one. If you look over here with the characters, You can see that there are 12 characters on release right now, but they'll bring out more. Every time you see a character, they tend to have two URs and an SR and an R ability. This is basically what makes everyone unique, right? And it's a common thread that I see, that I notice within the first 16 units, that the first UR tends to be the one with the longest animation. The second one has a slightly shorter animation and less cooldown. The first one has a lot of cooldown. And then they have a SR that's really good, and then they have an R that you could spam. So I don't really have the time to memorize the names or the Japanese pronunciations of these UR abilities, so I'm just gonna call it U1, UR1, UR2, SR, and R. So if we're looking at Iroha over here, this is U1, U2, Iroha SR, Iroha R, and that's how I'm gonna refer to these from now on. That's just gonna be my naming convention. So if you tap on the ability that you pull, you're gonna see the option over here to enhance them, and you could spend your growth eggs to level them up. I don't have any growth eggs right now. If you pull duplicates of the UR, you can actually increase the level. So this one right over here is level 10 at max, but if I pulled another copy of this, it would be able to max out at level 20. And you know that you have a duplicate of the skill, and it's ready to be limit broken, because you're gonna see this orange arrow over there. So, word of a warning. I don't know why Square Enix decided to do this, but these over here, they're a trap. You know, don't waste your growth eggs on this. I have it level 10. I wasted it. I have many regrets. If I had growth eggs here, you would be able to see an option. You could see that it's level 10 and it's able to go to level 20. You use growth eggs over here, but this card over here is a trap. Just don't do that. All right. Let me see what's next on my roster. Let's go into battle and talk about how to use an ability, right? I'm gonna go into a matchmaking. Oh, I actually have some crystals unlocked. It's okay. So I'm just gonna go to challenge and just demonstrate the way that a battle flow happens and what this gameplay loop is all about, really. Yeah, I like this one. Come on. I'm gonna select my loadout over here. I'll talk about loadouts in a second. Let me just explain the gameplay loop. This is basically all that you're gonna do throughout the rest of the game. So, the game starts out, you have 3 objectives. Get 9999 Brave, enter burst mode, attack the boss, and that's it. Literally everything else in between is extra steps. We have certain people that do certain things really well, and I'm gonna explain to you as the match progresses. We have 3 versus 3, and all 3 of us are competing for the right to kill the boss. So, as you can see up there, you're gonna see a map, and this is Crystal A. Right now I'm spawning at the A camp, so this is my spawn, and the E crystal, that's where the enemy is gonna spawn. And everybody starts to throw down hands whenever it comes to C, because that tends to be the middle ground. As you can see, my character over here, well, right now I have nobody near me. Let me just move forward. If you want to use an ability, you basically swipe the ability and it's going to show you a yellow circle. That's going to be the range of where the ability can go. And you could see right there, there's a little circle and all that. Not all abilities are attacking abilities. Some are going to be boosting, like you can see that one is focusing on me, so that's going to boost me. It's a good thing to know your abilities and the range that they have right there. Okay, so if I'm near an enemy, you see a blue circle around me, that means that's my area of damage. If I put my character next to someone that I can attack, then he's gonna automatically attack. If you press the attack button, look, this is the auto attack. I'm not even doing anything, but I can do that on command. So anybody within my blue circle is gonna get hit. If I'm a ranged user, the class that has guns or bow and arrow or whatever, that circle will be a lot bigger and it'll be a lot further away. So every class has their own range. Now, as you can see, I'm approaching a crystal, and the goal is to get 999 Brave. So how do we do that? Well, you could kill these little minions around the crystals. Let me do that now. There'll be 4 or 5 usually. And then after that, you'll be able to purge the crystal. And as you can see, I have a big whopping amount of Brave on me right now. So I'm at 999 Brave, right? Get away from me, Kane. Come on. Yeah, this guy is just gonna follow me. I'm gonna die, but that's okay. I actually want to show... Okay, I wanted to die, that's okay. I wanted to show what would happen if you try to attack the boss right off the bat. If you do that, it won't work. The game needs you to be 999 Brave first, and then you have to enter Brave Burst Chain. If I try to attack him right now, it's just gonna say blocked. See? So I can't do anything to the boss. So you have to max out your Brave. There's literally no other way to do it. So the first traditional way is obviously the crystals and the minions. The second way is to try to kill the players and hope that you get the killing blow. I wasted that ability there. But if I do, then I'm gonna take all his Brave points and add it to mine. So that's the second way to get Brave. If you have support players like Trial or Riku in the future, you'll be able to actually have them feed their Brave points to you. So okay, I'm using the attacks, wiping out the mobs, purging the crystal. Everybody gets Brave, as you can see on my team. Now I'm gonna click and enter Burst Chain, and this is important to know. Every ability has a cooldown, but Burst Chain mode has no cooldown at all. As you can see, I can actually infinitely hit him here. But the second I start using an attacking ability, that's when the Burst Chain will definitely go and go away. So I'm gonna show you that in another match. I'm gonna do it again. So the Burst Chain does not have a cooldown. You can enter it, and it's actually safe to do that. When you have Max Brave, hit your Burst Chain, you get a brief second of invincibility, and then you have the ability to actually damage the boss. That's the way that the battle works, and we all compete to do that, right? We can kill each other, we can stop the other one from getting crystals. There are different ways that we can express this role. Now on the abilities, I just want to point this out. Every ability has a certain special effect, and it's very important to read it. It's very handy also to know. Like, for instance, Farago over here, it'll launch foes in the air, which is actually very good. You could kill, if the enemy is killing 3 mobs, you could just throw him in the air and then steal his crystal right up from underneath him. This over here is a Tondaga, which will do AoE damage around you. It's a very good skill to have whenever you want to clear the minions faster in one ability. Let's see, how do I? Right. This is a barrier. You have a shield. It puts a barrier around you and you get 50% damage less. But then you have this skill over here, which basically, no, that one. This skill over here basically eliminates the barrier. So, you know, if someone you know that you're fighting against has a barrier, you use that, it gets rid of it immediately. And so it's very important to pay attention to these effects. They help you in battle. Let me go back and go into a fight. I'll talk about these crystals in a second. Alright, so everybody has a different way of how they... Ah, crap. Yeah, everybody has a different style of playing, right? I just use Cloud. He's the guy with the sword. He's pretty much the brawler class. And now I'm going to use Renoa, which is the range class. And you're going to see the wider circle of effect, circle of damage that I can actually inflict. Okay, here we have Renoa. Okay. So, I'm gonna talk about the classes a bit more when I get into the screen. But I still want to talk about the gameplay loop a little bit more. So, most of the contention is about Crystal Sea. Some people tend to like to rush there to steal the spot. But I like to take my time. I toggle between A and B. As you can see, Rinoa's area of damage is a lot bigger, and I can just stay back and chip at this tree over here without needing to get close. So this is what it's like to have a ranged character. See, I just purged the crystal. Another thing that needs to be noted is every match we start at level 1. If you look closely, you'll see that I'm level 2. By clearing out the mobs and fighting or killing enemies, I gain experience, but it's not just only for me, it's for the whole team. So the entire team levels up. It's very important for you to level up yourself. Don't be level 2 and try to go and fight an opponent that's level 5. It's not, you're gonna basically do 1-1-1 damage. So that's actually important to keep track of. One way to level up is for one guy in the group to definitely focus the crystals, and Square Enix actually created that in a role. They call that the Agile class. So you see, that's me purging crystals. Okay, I have, and as you can see, I can see that Kane up there is now doing a Brave Burst. So I need to watch his health, make sure, well, he's about to die. Alright, I'm level 4. I need just a little bit more. I'm at 8,120. Okay, somebody purged the crystal, and that's why I have a bit more Brave now. So I'm about to top up my Brave, and then enter my Brave Burst mode. Alright. It's not a good idea to run around with 99 Brave. Definitely burst and, you know, store it away. Now, let's talk about cooldowns over here. So you see that I'm using all 4 of my abilities, and they take their time. There's an animation that plays, and as this one is playing its animation, the other lower rank abilities are cooling down. So that's one way to chain your abilities. I'm gonna die over here, it's okay. So yeah, when you're in Brave Burst mode, the second you start using a damaging ability, you need to use all 4, because when you stop, that's when you get out of Brave Burst. But if you only use tap attacks or heals or barriers, you can stay in it for an indefinite amount. That's how that works. It's important for you to do that. And if you Brave Burst the boss alongside another teammate that's Brave Bursting, well then that's gonna give you a boost in damage, and that's actually the best scenario to go for. Now, I just won the battle, and here we see a screen. They'll show you points that'll gauge your performance based off of boss damage, how much bravery you generate for the team, and how many kills you did. So, and then over here you'll tend to see I need to unlock the rewards in order to show you what happens with that. This is another crucial thing to be aware of. Let me just open up my crystal real quick. Right, I have 4 gold crystals. These crystals, you get them after winning a match, and it's basically a pull in waiting. You have to wait 6 hours for the gold one, 12 hours for the prismatic one. I don't know the time limit for the other ones, but there's a blue grade and then there's a black grade. And when they pop, you basically do a pull. If you could farm 6 of them twice a day, that's 12 pulls you do basically per day. And it's possible that you get a UR ability. I'm going to show you that you can actually get these from a battle. Okay, good. I might as well go in and start using a ranged unit. So I use a melee unit and I just use a ranged unit. I'm now going to use a speed unit. The best unit in a game, Zidane. You know, everybody loves Zidane. He's top tier. No, not really. So Zidane has speed. His class is agile. And I'll show you exactly how you could see how that works out later on in the unit area. So if you tap your attack button, you'll obviously do an auto attack. But if you hold it, then that's what the game calls unique ability. Everybody has a different unique. For Zidane, if I hold his attack button or do his unique, then he's just gonna run around like Sonic. You know, gotta go fast. And his class, they make him fast because they expect you to be the type of guy that runs around breaking crystals and making sure that everybody levels up. If you look at my level, I'm level 1 right now. And as I keep killing the bosses more and more, that's... Come on. Okay, he claimed it. I'm gonna level up higher and higher and higher. And that's the way that they expect someone in the Agile class to play. However, on Unite, they do tweak him and favor him to become a DPS. So, see, I'm super fast. I'm just gonna run past them and try to take the crystal at spawn E so that they can get it while they're fighting my teammates. So my job as an Agile is to break crystals, level the team up, give Brave to everyone, because every time I pop a crystal... Oh, this guy wants to fight. Every time I pop a crystal, everybody gets a certain amount of Brave points. Okay, now something that I have to point out also, I'm using my UR abilities, right? And as long as the camera is taking over your character, that's when you're invincible. So after you get out of the animation, you know, they can do damage to you. As you can see, I have speed, so I can just run away. They can't catch me, there's no way. And right now I'm level 4, so that's also a good thing. I'm bursted, and except if I die, there's no way I can get out of burst mode. I have a Minwu, which is not an attacking skill, but the second I start using one of those skills that do damage, I'll get out of burst mode. If you start with a damaging skill, then you have to unload all of them. I'm just gonna stay in this mode for as long as I can. Utilizing my speed over here. Zidane also is blessed with the ability. If he's low health, he gets even more faster, so, you know, I'm just gonna get in some boss damage in while I can, just to show that you can stay in burst mode a lot longer than possible. Alright, the match is over, that's okay. So I don't need to go over his support class. We all know what support classes do. They're the mages that sit in the back of the map, healing everyone, sharing Brave. Right now we have 2 support classes in the beginning, Kryl and Warrior of Light. We'll have Riku very soon, but I'm sure in the future we'll have even more betterer support classes. So what I wanted to show you is this. After the rewards, after the game is finished, they'll show you the reward screen. And you can get these crystals, which will sit in your account, and after a certain amount of time they'll pop and you'll get an ability, which is basically the same thing as a draw. And you'll get this point over here, this brown point. That's season points, and the season points add towards this bar over here. So the game has seasons, not like limited time events, but they call it seasons, right? And that's this thing over here. Those points... Oh no, I don't want to enter a rank. Not now. Nope. Yeah. How do I see that again? Oh yeah, up here. So those brown, that point adds towards this bar, and as you collect more points, that's when you get this meter filled. If you're free to play, these are your rewards. If you buy the season pass, those are your rewards as well. There's a bit of a bottleneck that Square Enix imposes to make sure that people can't just get all the awards in one day, and that is the rule of, well, if you have these crystals in your slots over here, and if it's full, you no longer are able to get season points, which will go towards that bar. It's a bit counterintuitive, and it's a bad design, I know, everybody complains about it. but it is what it is. So as long as your crystal slots are full, you cannot get these season points, and you cannot work towards finishing that progression bar. So one way for you to get rid of these crystals is to wait, and then it'll be ready like this, and you'll pull an ability, which is good. Or which this one, which is a bad option, is to spend currency to unseal it right now, but not even for 1 mock pay points. No way, I'm not spending that. I'd rather just wait. Every time you enter a battle, let me just show you. I'm not gonna actually do it. I might as well just start and quit. Let me just use my support class. That'll make this video complete. It'll show that I use all 4 type of classes. Yeah, win the battle. So this is another thing that I wanted to show. It'll show me before or after the battle. Right. See, on the left side you'll see the blue crystals, and on the right side you'll see the black crystals, and you see how many points. So if you win, you get the good rewards, and if you lose, you get the bad rewards. So if you buy this other thing called a boost pass, the season points that you get become triple. So it actually helps you fill your meter a whole lot faster. But then again, if your crystal slots are full, you can't get any more season points. So it's just, it's a pain point. You know, they do it on purpose. They really do. Right now, I'm playing as Warrior of Light, who's classified as a support role. But I don't think he's a supporter. He feels more like a damage dealer, but that's just personal preference. My goal is to make sure that I babysit these guys and, you know, ensure that they win and become victorious. Since I'm bulky and tanky, I could take on a lot of beating, and I could just stand in the way of the enemies. But right now I'm going to do something that I see most good Warrior of Light players do. They just burst and then they just melee attack the boss non-stop to chip in. And that's actually a very good thing to do, actually. Not a very good thing that I'm doing it here. So one of my teammates is bursted, and I'm just gonna auto attack the boss and wait for my teammate. Okay, right now both of us, all 3 of us are attacking. I might as well. So this activates a burst chain, which is actually gonna give us some multiplier towards damage. I don't know what it is, but that's the best way to do damage. And then after we use our attack, our brave drops back to 1000, and we gotta start all over again. But the game is done. The game is done. Three people burst chaining on the boss is surefire way to finish the match. That was actually a good thing I decided to go do that. So yes, after the victory, we get a score. You get to see an animation of who was the MVP. Whoever scored the most points. Doesn't always mean whoever was the best. Just means whoever scored the most. Right? Burst chain success, and we get scored on boss damage, bravery given, and kills done. And right over here, you'll see the rewards that you earn. See? I got 6 season points, but if I had the boost pass, I would have gotten 18 because it triples your season points. That's the way the game pretty much works. So I actually gave a good demonstration of the roles. I'm gonna now show you the loadout system of the game. If you go over here to characters, you get to see all your characters. Obviously, I'm saying amazing things there. You'll see the handshake symbol there, that means support. The foot symbol there, that means agile. The fist is melee, and then the cursor there is range. Those are the 4 classes that I was talking about. So at the end of the game, you get scored on 3 criteria, which is boss damage, bravery, supplied, and kills. It feels like the melee class tends to lean more towards doing boss damage, because both their U1 and U2 tend to be big, you know, big heavy damage animation thingies, damage abilities. And the range units, they tend to be player killers, because it's very easy for them to sit in the back and snipe people out as they're doing certain things. So it almost feels like for boss damage, you would expect melee to be first. For player kills, you would expect range to be first. And then for supplying bravery, if you're a good agile unit and you're really breaking crystals, you can actually be first in bravery almost always. But the one that takes the cake is Kryle, because she has it so easy. If you look at over here, you'll see that Gaia has a 1.25 multiplier towards attack, 0.8 for defense, and HP is just standard. So whatever amount that you build your character towards, they get that extra multiplier. Everybody's different. This is how you know the difference between units. So let me talk about how to power up. Right? If you look at these abilities, we have 5 abilities that we can equip onto our character to bring into battle. Every ability has 3 stats. You can see over here, attack, defense, and HP. And as you level it up, it'll give you more. Now, not only that, they allow you to take 6 extra cards with you, and this is your support slot. You can't do anything with this except just only add up all the stats in total, divided by 2, and then add it for your grand total of everything that you see up here. And that's basically how you build a character. This is how you build your loadout. There's just one tiny bit more of optimization that we can do, and that's called job medals. If you go to challenges and you clear the challenges, you'll get these job medals, and my god, this is a horrible system. So the way that job medals work, it's crazy. It's just RNG. Let me just choose someone else that I probably need to roll on so I could demonstrate the nightmare of what it is to play with job medals. So, come on. Okay, when you first start the game, you'll have an empty slot, right? This is a loadout 1, a loadout 2, and you have a third one. You can set a medal. You could set a medal, and you have to use... There are 2 types of job medals. You have the ones specific for the character that you get from the challenge, and the ones that are shared and universal. I personally would just roll and waste all the ones for the character and just save the universal ones for when someone like, you know, Sephiroth or Kefka come around. But let me show you. You could choose to roll a job medal 1 time. Right? Okay, I got the white mage. Now pay attention. First category of randomness or whatever is the color. I think there are 5 colors: green, red, brown, blue, and something else, right? You need to make sure you get a boost if all 3 of your job medals are the same color. But as if that's not bad enough, you also need to roll certain jobs, like white mage will give you a boost in healing. This is a bard that'll decrease your status effects, and this one increases your attacks. So him being a melee character, you definitely want to have the type of job that boosts your attack. And then also, if you roll 3 of the same color, you see over here, same color bonus. If these 3 were green, then I would get a little extra bonus too. But as if that's not bad enough, we now also have to hope that we get a 3-star. See, this is a 1-star, and let me just roll one more time. And oh, I got a 2-star, and a 2-star gives me a thief gives me increased speed, but he's red. So am I happy? Yeah, I have 2 reds now. You're gonna think, well, maybe I should then try to roll on this one over here. At best, try to get 3 reds. It's impossible to get 3 reds with... That's not bad. But I still would like it to be red, because I like that same color bonus. And I just messed up, because now I have a white mage, and that's for healers, and that doesn't do anything. So the system is RNG dependent, it's RNG hell. I honestly wouldn't waste too much time on this, just move on from that. Okay, so, I already spoke about the abilities, and yeah, all your abilities have stats, and the more you level up the abilities, the more stats they give. And it adds up to the score over here, called combat power, which gives you an estimate of just how strong you are. You know, it's not really a way to measure strength, because some players could just have lower combat power, but if they're really good at the game, then they're gonna wipe the floor with you. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So we have 3 battle modes over here. Oh, not a crystal popped. Let's see what I got. Lightning. So yeah, what I just showed you is the battle modes. We don't have any other thing except the 3v3 boss. We could either do it here, where we play for rank points, and or go over here for casual. Casual, I actually recommend that you start in casual because it actually lets your abilities go to a max level. You don't need to worry about whether or not you have growth eggs or not. But ranked is where it's at. You know, that's where the real risk and reward comes in. That's the bragging rights. And if you reach the top 100 player in the leaderboards, then the next season your weapon will glow, and everyone will see that. And I don't know, maybe you'll get some extra rewards too, but that's basically it. When you unlock a character with the character draw tickets, you'll be able to do their challenge mode, and that's this over here. Right? I actually wanted to do all of them. They'll put you in fights with these conditions like win the battle, purify 2 crystals and win. And some of them are more trickier, like run 1400 meters with Zidane in the match. But this is the only way that you can get some job medals for the unit that you have. So it's a very good thing to do. Casual, again, I already spoke about that. Ranked. Okay, there are 5 tiers. So ranked has tiers. You first start at silver, and then you go up 5 levels, and then you go to start at bronze, go up 5 levels. So bronze 5, bronze 4, bronze 3, bronze 2, bronze 1, and then if you get the bronze 1 and you get 250 points, you need 250 rank points to level up. Once you do that and you enter silver, as soon as you hit silver, you can never go back down to bronze. You know, if you're at silver 5 and you keep losing, it's okay, you'll never go back down to 5. From silver, you go to gold, and then to diamond, and then to omega. So, what are these ranks really about? It's a way for the game to keep the matchmaking fair and safe. So in bronze, they put a cap on everyone's level at a certain point. So it doesn't matter if some whale comes in and he has a level 99 ability, if he's in a bronze tier with you, his ability is going to drop down to whatever it is. So the more higher up you go with the ranks, the worse it gets. I mean, in Omega, there is no level cap. In Diamond, I think the cap is 30, so I'm not too sure on the numbers, don't quote me on that. But that's basically how that works out, and that's basically the game loop. So what do you do from day to day after you do all your tutorial and stuff like that? Well, you log into the game, you farm up your 6 crystals by going to the challenge mode over here. You know, just pick an easy one and pick something that has at least a gold difficulty. I tend to like this one over here with Cloud. I forgot. Is that the one? No. Yeah, this one. I tend to like this one for Cloud. As you can see, it's gold 5 difficulty. You do this and you'll get a gold crystal and it'll sit in your box. Collect 3 of them if you're free to play. Collect 6 of them if you buy the season pass. And just chill and go and play casual, or just go outside and touch grass and hug your mother or something. And that's basically what you do with the game. They have these daily missions that you have to do too sometimes. It'll be easy stuff like play as an agile character or post in your group. And then you also have these tutorial missions. Read it, follow it, do it, get it done, and that's pretty much it. Let's see, what else am I missing out on? Yeah, there's not... Yeah, I think I pretty much covered it. That's it. That's my definitive beginner's guide for Dissidia Duellem. It's a game with a lot of red flags. They have pay-to-win features, they have ad watches. I know, everyone's gonna complain and talk about how the game doesn't have much, but, you know, a thing isn't beautiful because it lasts forever, to quote Vision. And I think we're just here for the ride. We know what's gonna happen, but enjoy it while it lasts. Alright, well, thanks, and hope you guys like and share and subscribe. Also, follow for more. I'm going to actually give you a guide on how to clear some of the challenges, as well as a unit guide. So, peace out.